Feed With Us Friday. This is our weekly tradition where we get to share one of our favorite parts about having these guys with you. And that's just a peaceful morning watching them munch on their hay.
And everyone needs groomed today. Got some snow and rain yesterday, so they're looking a little bit clumpy.
No one's on here yet. I wonder, I know I put it to public. Classic Jason move, going live unlisted. Hey, someone's here. All right, I knew it. I knew I did it.
Jason, on these lives, one time he did it as unlisted, and he's like, I don't know why no one's on here yet. And it turns out no one could see it, that's why.
So I have PTSD. Nobody loves
now
us.
He's like, oh no. Oh, fine, don't be rude to her. Josie's always one of the last ones to shed out fully. She gets her little belly hawk. A little mohawk on her belly that never sheds out fully. It's pretty funny.
Happy Friday, guys. People are hopping on and saying hi. Thank you guys for being here. Let us know where all you're watching from. We intentionally do our Feed With Us Fridays in the morning so that people in like Australia and Europe can join because they miss our Mountain Built Mondays. Koya is asking how you're feeling today because I told him yesterday on our members only Thankful Thursday, I told him you were sick.
A little better. Tired. I slept this morning and I'm in comfy clothes. But this is the best therapy when you don't feel that great.
Yes. Just hang out and scratch
hang out with equines.
Some mules and horses.
Yeah, and honey, it's been fun. So I got reestablished like her first touch again, but she wasn't really enjoying it that much. Like she would have let me touch her, but so I went to just working with her at Liberty and trying to do some things at Liberty, and it's so fun. She started this week. I feel like the last going on like 5 days now. She's really started to make a little bit of a change. It's fun to watch her open up. She started like playing with the tarp. Like she's like pawing it and like biting it, like roosters, playfulness, you know, like that's starting to come out. I put the big horse ball in there and she's like playing with the ball. She's like scruffling it with her nose. She's even trying to paw it a little bit. And you can tell she comes over to me and she's kind of like, I really want to check you out, but she's still like, I don't know. And then she'll go back over and like play with the tarp and stuff. It's been so fun to watch. She has had no curiosity about anything like whatsoever, and just in the last like 4 or 5 days that's changed. She's been taking a lot of naps. We actually put her on the same feed through that Taz is getting for his ulcers. I was like, you know, she kind of has been through a lot of stress. Like she's a pretty sensitive horse. So anyway, we put her on the ulcer stuff too, and we had dewormed her, so I just wanted to make sure her belly felt okay after all that. So I think she's starting to feel better. She just seems overall more calm lately. Like she's not been so spooky about the wind and stuff, so I'm excited.
She's been taking a lot of naps?
Taking a ton of naps, but she seems like she's feeling okay. It's not like she's laying down because her belly hurts or anything. She like is just sleeping and seems really nice and chill and relaxed, and I'm excited. So it's fun to see her little personality start coming out finally.
Got a couple questions come in. We'll snag them real quick before I forget them. First off, Dawn says we missed her joke. I guess it was in the comments. I missed a lot of comments on yesterday's video with the Appaloosa, but she said she was seeing spots everywhere, and she was referring to all the Appaloosas.
Yeah, there were a lot of appies there.
It was
Wait
fun.
till you see next week's video. We find another appy. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, along those lines says, I missed the last day of the auction. Did you get the horse you were thinking about? That video, you haven't missed it. It's just not out yet. Alyssa was editing it yesterday when I was riding Taz.
So it should be out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that one's kind of a little bit different of a sale than the one we just showed.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it was kind of fun seeing a little spotted mule like Josie. It was definitely, didn't look identical to her, but it was kind of close.
Not as fluffy as Josie is right now.
Josie's very fluffy. You don't need to eat your own hair, huh? Put it right over your breakfast. How rude.
Someone else had a question. It says, do mules have the same flight response as horses?
Not really. Like they have the same. Mules tend to freeze up more than horses. This is all generalization of obviously, but Mules will tend to freeze more and just shut down and not move, and that's where they get their stubborn reputation. If people push them too hard, they'll just kind of shut down. They get that from the donkey. There are mules that have bolting issues. Actually, quite a few going to like tie Evan clinics. You see quite a few mules that have bolting issues. The only thing with mules is horses might bolt and keep bolting. Mules, it seems like it's pretty short-lived, so they might bolt from here to the other end of the arena, or 100 yards down the trail, and then they're pretty much done. But yeah, so they definitely can have the same flight response where they will bolt. Clyde used to bolt every time we saw cows. It was so much fun. He would do a full 180 and just whoop the other direction full speed, and then, but again, it was pretty short-lived. So we'd go about, I don't know, 50 yards, 100 yards, and then he would be done. So, but yeah, but they do tend to freeze up quite a bit more.
Chris said, where'd it go? Said something along the lines of fun auction, Jason. And I was wondering, I'm very self-conscious about our dorky thumbnails. Alyssa's already laughing because I was like, I don't care. We'll try to see if it helps our click-through rate, which is like how many people see the thumbnail and click on it. And it actually helped me looking like a real dork on there. So
yeah, as much as we don't like the whole like, hey, be nice, the YouTube style format, there is something to it. Not so much for you guys who are subscribers and watch everything. I think you guys would probably click on it no matter what, but the people who haven't found our channel yet, and if our subscribers don't watch a video as much as like the previous videos, then YouTube just doesn't show it to anyone new. It kind of puts a cap on our video and just doesn't push it out there. So there is something to it. You got to get all of you guys to watch it, and then it'll kind of show it to some new people. So anyway, we're going to try the whole YouTube type thumbnail, so you guys get to see us looking like dweebs. You're welcome. But it does seem like it's helping.
Deborah says hello from the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Hey.
We love it over there.
We've been thinking about making another trip over there.
Yeah. And then Wild to Mild says, love your approach with honey. Being a Mustang enthusiast myself and also currently Genelina Southstein's gelding, I know your struggle.
Yeah, they're touchy, man. Yeah, she's an interesting horse. I wish she's starting to get some more curiosity, which is so awesome because that helps so much. And, but yeah, I've been having fun with her, just kind of like, all right, she clearly wasn't enjoying me touching her like she was at one point. It was kind of feeling good, and it's been off and on. She'll enjoy it for a little while, and then she's kind of like, eh. And so, yeah, I've just been having fun, kind of like working with her and seeing if we can get a connection, and just small things like she's actually able to walk around in the corral instead of like have to lope every time I ask her, like send her off. So that's a huge change. Obviously it looks very small from the outside, but I'm sure you know. And then like, can you walk in between the tarp and the ball at Liberty? And I can like kind of direct her, and to watch her little face like, oh, that's what you wanted. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And she's like, it's starting to click with her and stuff. And she's realizing that like we can actually communicate with one another, and it's pretty fun. So even though her neck tag's still on, she's got dreads in her mane, I haven't put a halter on her, it's pretty cool to see her start like interacting with me, where at the beginning it was like she was just tearing around the corral. She couldn't look at me with two eyes. She wanted nothing at all to do with me. So it's pretty fun to kind of see that evolve.
Yeah. Ellen Tari says, it's annoying how thumbnails and titles really do need to be optimized for clicks, even if it feels fake and silly. And that's exactly right.
It is. And some people even like will yell at us in the comments about titles and stuff like that, which is kind of silly. But it's like, well, unfortunately, it's just how YouTube works.
Yep. Jude says, glad to see that you're feeling better, Alyssa.
Thanks.
Should we go see the short ears real quick?
Yeah, the short ears.
Oh, here's a question from Sandy. Does Honey snort more than other horses you've trained? And what do you think it means that they snort?
She's just unsure. It's just her way of kind of saying that she's unsure about stuff. I mean, she snorts a little bit more just because she is wild, so everything. She's unsure about everything for the most part. Some horses are more apt to be that way, but I've definitely had horses in the past that were domestic horses were snorty. So if they saw something they weren't sure about, they would like look at it and then give that snort, you know, and it's just them saying like, I don't know what that is. So Josie's a snorter. If she sees like deer or something, but mules do this kind of like alarm snort. Horses can do it too, for sure. But yeah, her head will be up and it's this really loud, abrupt kind of like threatening snort. So Josie's good at that. If we ever had a bear come into camp, Josie would let you know for sure.
Yep.
She would be snorting at it. Josie, you need to shed out. Look at your long, clumpy hair. I can't wait till it's hot enough we can give them all baths. It's going to be so nice.
Yeah, we had snow yesterday.
Yeah, it was nasty yesterday. It was windy and snowy.
Oh, here's another question from Ellen Tari. Did you need to do anything special with Clyde and Riata for the Arizona heat?
Nope. We always give them lots of salt and stuff when we're traveling. And, but no, they handled it really well. Mules actually handle the heat really well. Being half donkey, donkeys are like built for that arid climate. And so mules, surprisingly, they do really well. They don't sweat as much as horses. Most mules don't sweat as much as horses. And so they don't get dehydrated like horses do. Not as bad anyway. And even like riding through those washes with the water, you know, we'd offer them to drink. And a lot of times they didn't even need to. So we tried obviously not to do anything too strenuous and just really cause them to sweat a lot. But yeah, they did really good. You can see Clyde's shedding a lot more than Josie though. They definitely, like, going down to Arizona caused them to shed a lot more than the others. So he always sheds out a little earlier too. It's interesting. Some mules are definitely more horse-like and some mules are definitely more donkey-like. Josie and Riata are more donkey-like and Clyde is more horse-like, just in his like coat and kind of in his demeanor. He's more of a bolter than the others. Like he has more of that flight instinct when he does get scared. And Josie and Riata definitely are more of your typical like freeze and kind of shut down type mules. So you really got to make sure you don't push them too far or else they'll just freeze up on you. And their hair is a little bit more donkey-like. They have kind of a, I don't know, like a coarser coat, I guess.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shed out as early as like Clyde's. So
I'm getting
it takes a
behind
long time.
on questions here.
Yeah, let's go brush Rooster. He's looking
Let me grab my
really
coffee.
shabby.
Coffee.
Oh my goodness, it's snowing. Look.
We have any coffee drinkers out there? If you do, use code Mountain Bill at cafemule.com. We actually don't get a kickback. We just love the coffee and the brand, and you guys get a discount if you use code Mountain Bill on your first order.
Clyde.
What
Clyde,
was
you
I
were
going to
already
say?
the star.
Oh, someone asked how tall is Clyde?
He's around 15 too.
And then another question that I missed was, are mules and donkeys more protective than horses? That's a common question we get. Good question.
I don't know. It depends. I've had horses that really want to stomp dog, but I think overall mules and donkeys, you know, you do have to watch out for them. Like Riata and Josie both, they are dog stompers. If they get an opportunity to stomp a dog, they will. I will say though, Riata has been really sweet to Yeti too. I've been like close to them, and Riata will like lick Yeti. It's so weird. And then sometimes she wants to stomp her. So it kind of depends on her mood she's in. But we don't let our dogs come into the pen without us being right there. They actually aren't allowed in this pen at all. But yeah, as far as protective against predators, I don't know. I think
in general, yes. Everything is, it depends. But
yeah,
I think in
on
general,
them.
donkeys and therefore mules are a little bit more protective.
Clyde really doesn't care. He's not a dog stomper.
Right.
He's kind of curious. He'll go over to him, but he doesn't care.
Larry says, medium roast. I love my coffee. I love my coffee too, Larry. I like my morning coffee, my afternoon coffee, and then decaf for my evening.
Yeah.
Evening coffee.
Our evening lives, we always have decaf coffee. It's nice.
Yeah. And yeah, I think this is a medium roast. I don't know. If you go dark roast, it kind of hurts my stomach. So we either go light or medium. And plus, there's more caffeine. I have a caffeine problem, I think. There's more caffeine in the lighter roasts.
Oh my goodness, he's starting to shed finally.
Oh yeah, that is a satisfying shot right
watch
there.
this. Are you ready?
Crusty.
Right here. It's all crusty, and he's finally shedding. Look at that. Like a magic eraser. dirty, clumpy hair.
Let me get it from the other way.
He's so pretty in the summer.
Yeah, the rooster, man.
Yeah, look at this. Right here, I'll try to go left-handed. Not as good left-handed.
Oh, Ellen Tari says, maybe throw some cocoa powder in there. Yum. That does sound good.
That would be good. I hope she's talking about in coffee and not in his hair.
Definitely. Trish says, she's here. Sorry, late. Just got out of a meeting. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you guys joining on these lives. It's kind of fun to see people pop on here and drop a little comment.
Rooster had a little lump under his armpit. It looks like it's totally gone now. I think he probably got kicked. As much as people like to think Rooster's so sweet to everyone, he kind of sets himself up to
He's kind of the perfect leader because he keeps everyone in line, but he's not like crazy. Like during grain time and stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't just charge everyone for no reason, but he will let them know if they are where they shouldn't be.
They're constantly figuring out their pecking order.
Yep, that's just a equine thing. It's like they can change daily. They kind of have their, like, where everyone sort of is, but it'll flip-flop. And it's just part of being an equine. You're always trying to be one up on the other one.
People are asking if you're feeling better again.
Yes, I am.
And also some votes for dark coffee.
Yeah, we've drank some dark coffee, but usually I think we get like medium roast.
We have sensitive tummies.
Yeah, I really do. Like the Cafe Mule coffee, that is one thing, like Matt really, he really tries to source it from really good sources. Like he goes through a lot of trouble to source really good coffee, and it does not hurt my stomach. Like drinking Folgers and brands like that, I don't know if it's more acidic or what it does, but man, it really hurts my stomach. But that Cafe Mule coffee, it doesn't. So we really like it. But yeah, he gets good sources that aren't like moldy. Like you hear about some coffee, they test it and it has a bunch of mold in it, which is pretty gnarly.
Oh yeah, that probably feels so good, huh, Roost?
He's like, yes. Breakfast and a massage.
I love the springtime.
Oh my goodness, so much hair, buddy. He's so pretty when he sheds out. I can't wait.
Oh, Sherry's asking, were you able to find any more new chicks?
We have not gone back. I called them. When was that? Maybe Tuesday, just to check what they had left in stock, and they only had 5 left, so I'm glad I called. But yesterday, he's like, don't stop. Good boy. You need your mane braided. Like, it's such a mess. Yesterday or today, they're supposed to, or sorry, yesterday or the day before, they were supposed to get chicks in. So I need to call them again and make sure they haven't sold out again. They get them in every week, so we'll have to plan a trip down there right after they get them in. But it's hard to know exactly when they're going to get them in. You don't want to show up and they'd be like, oh, it's actually coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you have to call ahead.
The snow in the mountains in the background reminded me of a question I missed. Someone asked what our winters are like here in this part of Idaho. And we are very thankful for that snow that came yesterday. You can see it up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Usually it's...
Our winters here are pretty dry. We only get like 21 inches or something like that. I don't know of snowfall every year. And so we really don't get much precipitation. Where we're at, the mountains that surround us do, and that's where our irrigation water comes from. But they can get cold. They definitely can get cold. Thankfully, they are dry. So like these guys are with their really thick coats. Whoa, Joe's, you spooked him. They they don't have a problem, thankfully. So, but yeah, I can get in the negative 20s. That's usually about as cold as it gets. Somewhere in the negative 20s, but it can get, a couple weeks usually where it won't. Gosh, it barely gets above 0. So, and that's Fahrenheit.
Rooster's getting that good stuff down in the bottom.
I know we have grass hay and alfalfa in here, and so they're like, I don't want this grass hay. I want all the little alfalfa leaves. So it's way down the bottom. So he just stuffs his head down there. That's why his forelock is always covered in hay.
Pegasus asked if we have seen Shay's new appy.
Yes.
We watched, actually.
Yeah, we actually watched
people
it
were
last night.
talking about it on our last video with the appies at the that Montana horse sale. And so we were like, we better check that out. And we did, and he's beautiful. He is very pretty. And he's like even in a blanket and all wooled up, he's very pretty. So
Yeah.
imagine what he's going to be like here in the summertime. I think they're in Michigan, they said.
And he's half Percheron, I think, which is awesome. That's what Mesa
Yeah.
is. Percheron.
Percheron's rule, huh, Mace?
Yeah.
Percheron's rule.
She's so cool.
Question from Mikhail. Is it better to buy a mule or her horse for your first?
Well, I
Don't
would
say
to
it depends.
It depends. It does just depend on the animal. But yeah, if you're willing to work with them and have I don't know, if you have a lot of patience and stuff, there's no reason you can't work with a mule. People just get into trouble with mules when they try to push them too much too fast on something and they go into that freeze mode. Once they're in that freeze mode, if you just like keep pushing, it doesn't go very well. But yeah, if you can just keep them from going into that and work with them, then they're awesome. And there's no reason a beginner can't ride a mule. So they're so similar to a horse. I mean, they have their differences, but really people make them out to be this totally different animal. And there are definitely some differences, but they're still an equine. Like their brains still work the same way. I don't know. I feel like overall mules are made out to be this like mysterious, animal that are so much different than horses, and they're really not that much different in the grand scheme of things. So at least we found that, but we work with them the same way we work with horses, and we have a lot of patience when it comes to horses too. And so maybe it's just, our style of horsemanship and mulemanship are just very similar. So
yeah. Oops. Pegasus says, first time made it on a live. Love everyone. Honey is awesome.
she is awesome.
Thanks for the positivity, and thanks for making it on a live. These are always kind of laid back. We don't do anything too crazy. We will actually probably soon do a live session with Honey one of these days, just so that people can see, as it's happening and kind of the slow process. We'll just set it up and just film the whole thing live.
We haven't been super good at filming her sessions lately, just because it's kind of been the same thing. And then we'll film the little like Liberty sessions I've been having with her, because that's kind of cool. And I tried to film her on my phone yesterday of her playing with the ball and the tarp and stuff, because it's just so fun to watch her little personality come out. Yeah, she's pretty sure of herself on a lot of things. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, we'll definitely document her, like if there's a big change and the big steps and stuff like that, and keep showing those. But all the little sessions in between, because I work with her every day, and so it's just too much to film that, especially when you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over again, and making little changes, but it's too much footage to try to store and find a space for if you're filming all those every single day. So
Hey, D Johnson just became a member. Thank you, D. That's awesome. We just share a little more behind the scenes stuff on there.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. It actually really helps. That recurring revenue is a huge blessing for us, especially since we're doing this full time now.
Yeah.
Oh, here's
I'm sure most of you guys. Oh, go ahead. You can do that first now.
Who was it?
Oh,
it just
Mace,
disappeared.
you're starting to
Chris
shine too?
Richardson says they enjoyed the tour of my accommodations at the horse sale. Says they do the same in their 2011 Toyota Prius.
Nice.
That's probably even tougher. The Subaru, those Outbacks are just barely big enough for me to fit in there comfortably.
Yeah.
But yeah, saving a little money, but we really wanted to go film that sale. It was really enjoyable, so I'm glad we made it happen. Oh my.
She's starting to really shed.
And then
She
another.
has the softest little baby fur still. It's like super floofy.
Janine says, driving from church, love listening.
We actually had thought about doing, I don't know, like a podcast style. We haven't figured it out yet. But basically like these, but also kind of in a podcast format. We would probably have a little more structure to it than our lives, where we're just hanging out with the horses.
These are the Wild West. Hey, Jesse's here. Good morning, Jesse.
But yeah, I was gonna say, if you guys, didn't see our video, We did quit working for Ty Evans Mulemanship. It wasn't an easy decision. We absolutely love Ty and his family and are very, very thankful for them. They've been great to us, and we're really excited to keep going to his clinics and stuff in the future. We've met a ton of awesome people through his clinics, but trying to run 2 of our own channels and then all of his social media, and mostly it was just traveling, so much traveling. It was just really hard to stay consistent with our own herd and with our own channels. You guys probably noticed when we're traveling with Ty, we can't put out as much content. 1, because we're not home, but 2, we're focused on him. And so we felt like that was the right call. We definitely have been thinking on it for a long time and trying to figure out what call. And Ty was extremely understanding, and he wishes us the best of luck with our business and is very supportive of that. So we really appreciate them. They're awesome. They're still an awesome source for all you guys. His online video library, masterclass, and clinics and all that. We highly recommend them. And but we're really excited. This is the first time we're kind of going all in on our business. It is the first time we're going all in on our business with no side jobs, no main jobs at all. So we have no 9-to-5s. We have no other income source other than our own business. So it's
no
a huge
guardrails.
step. Yeah, no guardrails. It's a little bit scary, but it's also really exciting, and it's something we've worked years to get here. We've put in a ton of hard work for years to get here. So it's not like it's something we just made, a quick decision to do. It's been something we've been working towards for a really long time, and
That's true.
And have been taking steps towards. So it's really, really exciting. And we don't know what all that means for the future as far as like what all we're going to try to do and stuff. But for now, we're going to bring you guys along, and it's going to be fun. Go on lots of fun adventures and show working with all these guys. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. But we do have some merch, and we're going to be getting more of that. But we do have some merch up on our website. We just came out with some stickers. We've got some coffee cups. We've got some apparel on there. And so anyway, that's MTN merch.
Mountain Built merch.
Yeah, Mountain Belt, sorry. MTNbuiltmerch.com. And that's also in our links, like our description and stuff like that on all of our videos. So, and it's also linked, I think, on our homepage, on our bio. But anyway, so there's some fun new stickers of all these guys. I had fun making those, and so we ordered a bunch of them. We'll probably do some giveaways here, give away some stickers, and we're excited to send a bunch to our nieces. They love stickers, so that'll be really fun.
I got way behind on questions. I try not to interrupt Alyssa while she's talking, and then I also don't have a good enough memory to remember all
and then
the
I go
questions.
down a rabbit hole.
So I apologize for anyone that I miss your question. It's not intentional. It's just I have an old man memory already. So
I have so much hair
I
on
did
my
see
face.
one. Megan was asking if we would think of maybe doing a horse camping 101 type video.
That would be fun.
I think that would
That'd
be a
be really
great
fun.
video to make. And we could
Maybe
make it
we
soon.
could corral our friend Chris and have him help us out.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. Yeah.
Hey, another person became a member. Thank you,
thank
Kathy.
you.
Kathy Bentley, thanks for joining.
It really does help. And we try to supply members with a little extra stuff to make it worth it for you guys. We do Thankful Thursday, which is a live for members, so it's just a smaller group of people. So if you have questions,
That way I miss less questions.
yes. But it's similar to these, just less people.
Oh, cool. Katie Patton says,
Oh, we're overflowing. Hold on, I gotta shut this off.
oh man, a cup
Classic.
runneth over.
I'm sure all of you understand overflowing water troughs. It's just a common thing.
Katie Patton says, hey from Oregon, heading to the Steens Mountains next month. Love that area for camping, the Oregon Outback. That's awesome. We love it over there too. It's so pretty. And it shouldn't be too snowy this year. A lot of times this time of year, the top is just absolutely buried in snow. They usually open up the gate to go around the loop road. They try to do it by July 4th, but this year they'll probably be early. Oh my. Oh, Cece's on here. Good morning, Cece. Thanks for joining. Cece says, I'm so glad you guys are all in. A scary thing to do, but I'm excited to see more of you. Maybe in real life one day. Yes. We hope so. We hope so.
Definitely.
We should have made it happen when you were still in Montana.
I know, we're a little closer than we are now.
Janine says, speaking of podcasts, recommend seeing you guys being interviewed on a TS Mules podcast. Mule people rock.
They do.
Thanks, Janine. Yeah, we've been on there twice.
There's 2 episodes on there, and then we have one coming out.
Yeah.
Harness Up podcast. So Stephen Haste. Oh, there's a guy riding down the road there, probably moving cows.
Another mule person.
Distraction. Squirrel. But yeah, tomorrow. It drops tomorrow, April 4th. So go check his out. Haste Draft Horses. Is that what his YouTube is?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have to take a potty break here. Do you want to go solo, or do you want to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes?
It doesn't matter.
I have been trying to get back to drinking a full gallon of water every day, so there's a glimpse behind the scenes for you that you didn't need.
Jason should sacrifice and pee his pants for that. Okay, well, we gotta go see Taz real quick.
Yeah.
It looks like Mesa also might have chewed on his tail again. Taz, you can't let them chew on your tail, dude.
For the record, I've already drank like 70 ones today, so I'm way ahead of schedule.
There.
Look how pretty that horse is.
He's so pretty. Why are always the light-colored horses the ones that lay in their poop? Clyde and Taz are like the 2.
Elizabeth says, have you tried to measure Josie by measuring the length of her legs, elbow to fetlock, I think, compared to the measurement of her body?
Yes, and she should grow about 4 more inches, which is exciting. I hope so, because then she'll be like Riata's height, and that would be tall enough for us. Because I think she's going to be pretty thick. She'll probably be a lot like Riata. But it's rung true for all of our equines so far. Like Clyde, when we first got him, I showed he needed to grow like 4 more inches, and he was a coming 4-year-old. And now it's just like dead even with his withers if you do the string test. So, and he definitely grew a lot. Yeah, you see this? I think this was Mesa. Looks like someone took scissors, but it was not. It was someone chewed his tail.
Munching on it.
Which is
My mom's on here. Good morning, Mom. Says Jason was not born into a horse lifestyle. No, I was not. I was, for those that don't know, born into a baseball and hunting lifestyle.
Yeah. Brushing him and all the hair's just going straight into the water trough. All right, we might have to wait till you're moved somewhere else.
Yeah, just fill the water trough with Taz hair.
Yeah.
Question. St. Elmo says, how old is Mesa? She's going to be 2 here in a couple months. This month?
Yeah, April.
What?
Yeah, I think the 8th.
Oh, man.
Or the 18th. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head.
She's getting big. She's doing that awkward thing where she grows up and looks silly, and then she fills out and looks good, and grows up and looks silly, and...
Definitely grew up while we were in Arizona. She's so lanky right now. She's 14.2 at the withers. I just measured her the other day. She's 14.2 at the withers, and she's really butt high. So equines will grow like their rear end usually grows up, and then they kind of level out, and then their rear end will grow up, and then they kind of level out. And right now she's really butt high, and yeah, so she's gonna be a big girl.
Yeah, she is.
She's so pretty. She's
gonna be awesome too. She is so chill. I absolutely love it. I'm just hoping she's not like too chill. Like.
No, she won't be too chill. Oh, Riata's starting to shed, finally. Yeah. She's usually like the last one to shed out. Does that feel good? Look at her little lip. So everyone knows the story probably by now, if you've been around, that Riata, her worst fear was black gloves. And now look at her.
Here, I'm going to set the camera down, because that way we can at least show people honey real quick.
Okay.
I'll just set this here and you'll go solo. I'll turn off my mic.
Will you turn the water trough off too?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely turn your mic off so we don't have to listen to you going to the bathroom.
Here, let me get this. Hey, thank you to whoever, I don't remember who got us this little tripod from our Amazon wish list, but thank you.
Going off. You're on your own, Alyssa.
Okay. You guys are just going to have to, well, I'll go pick it up so I can, because I can't read if you're saying anything, I can't see it. I'll come pick up the phone in a second. We'll see if this will work. guys can come over and hang out with me while I groom her. Hey, sweetie. Look at all that hair. Oh yeah, Rihanna, you're starting to shed. The water trough. Did you say the water trough triggered Jason? Hold on, I can't scroll with my glove on. Yeah. the water trough triggered Jason. Having to go to the bathroom. I think you're right. Oh. In the summer, her little stripy legs are so pretty. They really pop. Hey, Tasman, how you doing, buddy? Jason went and took Taz. Well, I'm too close. Let me back up. Jason went and took Taz to the arena yesterday. He did pretty good. It was super windy, and he was being a little bit crazy while he was working with him on the ground. But once he got on him, he stood still to mount. Didn't you? You did so good. Don't push buttons. You're so cute. You need your little face groomed up, buddy. What causes the stripes? Genetics? Yeah, so those are, sorry, Taz is trying to be a little too friendly with the phone. That's the primitive dun gene coming out, so they get that transverse stripe. Hers kind of drips down into her leg barring, which is really cool. They get a dorsal stripe. They don't all get that transverse stripe. That's also called a donkey cross. I've heard it called a Jesus cross because it looks like an actual cross down their back with the dorsal stripe. But they have a dorsal stripe. And then mules a lot of times will get this leg barring. Horses sometimes get leg barring. It's usually a little lighter than the mules. But yay, Jason's back. This will get
Don't
better.
get me on video though. I'm slumming it today.
Jason's in his sweatpants because he just got back from the gym.
Sweatpants life.
So he said, don't film him.
I made it.
I have so much hair in my mouth. I'm trying to talk and get hair out of my mouth. I'm sure it was great.
Hey, not everyone logged off. There's still 261 people on here.
Thank you for those who stuck around. That was maybe a little rough there for a second.
Chris says, I love the stripes. Did you already show off all her pretty stripes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rihanna's my buddy. I'm excited to be able to give her a little break from packing me around, though. I rode Tazzy yesterday at the arena. I thought I might die at the start, but he actually did pretty good.
Yeah, I was starting to talk about that, and then, you want to go see Honey?
Yeah. I'll try and walk slow and smooth so we don't skip out. I wanted to say, this will probably break up, but that's okay. Talking about my drinking a gallon of water a day.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa and I just finished a 75-day health challenge, kind of. You also read books and stuff, but 75-day challenge. And all I did was something really simple for my healthy eating deal. And I lost 25 pounds. So if anyone wants to lose a little weight or get a little healthier, if you just choose one simple thing to change, it can really make a difference.
Yeah, it can.
Here, mine was eating sugar. Actually, I chose 2. It was no sugar, no bread.
Yep.
But question, how is Honey's training going? There's a good question for when we go over here and see Miss Honey.
We kind of recapped on that already, but we can touch on it again.
The live feed sometimes skips out while I'm walking around, so bear with us.
The grass is starting to come up.
Yeah, so St. Elmo says, look at Rihanna. She's well muscular. She's very muscular. Yeah, thank goodness she's a stout thing because she's almost too short for me. So thankfully,
Coming for you, honey.
thankfully she is a stout little thing. Ellen Tari says, yeah, you lost 25 pounds of hair and beard.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's true. That's funny.
She's like, why are there two people coming from a direction that you normally don't come from?
Yeah, it just appeared over
We just
here.
appeared.
The Frogzilla says, everyone have a wonderful Easter weekend. Yeah, happy Easter, everybody. Let's see, I'll try and climb through here.
Maybe going actually.
Oh, go around this way.
I should have gone around that way. I gotta crawl over this panel. We have too many panels set up.
Linda Potter says, your herd is amazing. Thank you. We are so thankful for our herd. It was not very long ago. We had nothing and lived in an apartment.
Yes.
And we are so blessed to have these guys. Oh, I'm winded from walking up here. All that talk about losing 25 pounds. I still got winded crawling through the fence. Here's a question from D. McPherson. When you do purchase a new property, how many acres are you wanting to purchase? I am always like 10 plus is kind of.
Yeah. The more the better.
10 to 1,000.
Yeah. Would be awesome, but it really varies because of, like, if you have 10 irrigated, it's going to be as much as, like, 100 non-irrigated sagebrush.
Yeah.
I think we would probably rather have the 10 irrigated. So it's tough. We're just looking at all different options, but yeah, 10 plus would be awesome. 20 plus would be awesome. Bigger the better, but gosh, prices have sure climbed. So it's tough to find something. We don't even necessarily care at this point if it has water. We can feed hay all year long. But more property would be nice.
Yep. Hey, Debbie's on here. Says, hello, just joined the live. Happy to see Alyssa feeling better.
Let's see if she'll play with her little tarp on camera.
Debbie, we're excited for you to get your horse. I think it's this month. I think it's very soon.
You said April. Excited for that.
Someone said we're very good at fitting a lot in not a lot of space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I've said this before too, like, I used to work at a lot of different stables, and, they were 10 acres and had 60 horses on them. So people keep them in stalls and then turn them out in little paddocks, and they rotate who gets turned out. And so I don't know, maybe it's not like that a lot of places, but I think a lot of places it is like that still. And, these guys aren't stuck in stalls, so
Yeah.
they have a good life. They get pasture, they get all they can eat hay, so they got lots
Kevin's
of room
on
to.
here. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for joining. And St. Elmo says, can you hear me, Alyssa?
Yeah.
Okay. St. Elmo
Can you
says,
play
what
with your
about
tarp?
10 acres with water, BLM, or for Forest Service? That would
Yes,
be
that would be awesome.
perfect.
Yeah, being close to public would be awesome. Can you play with this tarp? This way. She's like, there's a dog behind me.
Is there a Yeti over there?
Yeah, she's so very distracted.
And I wanted to add,
There you go.
there's actually a Bible verse that says something along the lines, I can't remember it exactly, but it says, like, if you're faithful in the little things, you'll be blessed with the big things, or something along those lines. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. We try to be thankful for what we have here and make the most of it and treat our horses and mules well with this, and then hopefully down the road we'll get something a little bit bigger and be good stewards of that as well.
All right, let's see if you can go. Can you go that way? Good girl. Go over the pole. Over the pole. Wrong way. I gotta step over the tarp, sorry. Yeah. She says, I'm not used to I've been working with her by myself. Now there's a dog and
a
Jason,
cameraman.
which is a lot for her. There you go. Good job.
Oh, cool. Bobby G says, got my color test back on their Mustang, and
Nice.
says he has a cream gene, so
Cool.
he's a buckskin. That's awesome. Oh man, I'm excited. That reminds me about Mesa's color.
There
We
you
need to share that.
go. Same thing, just more people.
Oh, Debbie says your favorite place to buy in Idaho would be, oh gosh, well, we love the Owyhees, which is southwestern, but there's very little for sale down there. And we also really like central and like eastern Idaho is, oh
You're
gosh,
all
that's
right.
hard, Debbie. I was going to say
It's just a
central and
dog.
eastern Idaho because we love the mountains, but also there's some country over out of Riggins,
You
which
got
is kind of more
hurt?
western, and Hell's Canyon is western and is stunning over there too. So it's like the right property could be anywhere in a state like Idaho. Oh, here's a
Move.
question. Do you have anything to say, or can I dive into this
No, go
question,
for it.
Alyssa?
I'm gonna move the ball over here so she don't have to stand so close to you.
Untamed Odyssey says, wondering if Jason had any family members do equestrian team in high school. I grew up in Central
Move
Oregon
it right
and competed 2002 to
in
2006
here,
ish.
maybe.
I remember a young announced during shows, I think. Well, that's cool. Man, not that I think of. I graduated high school in 2006, but I was all baseball,
Girl.
and I don't think so, is the short answer. But that's really cool, though, and that's neat that you did equestrian team in high school. I wish I had done more of that. Actually, I don't know. My life has worked out pretty good, so I don't really wish anything was different, but I do wish I was a little better horseman now. Sam almost says, Idaho is so
Oh,
beautiful,
my.
and I agree. Smiley says, love the Riggins area. Yeah, you guys,
He survived.
if you're wanting to do like an Idaho road trip or something, that country out of Riggins is really pretty and rugged, and you can go check out Hell's Canyon. It's stunning country over there. I didn't know you guys were going to get a little mini live session right now.
Oh, I figure might as well. She's done eating her breakfast, so.
Yeah. Isabel says, hello from Belgium. Thanks for joining. From across the pond.
Girl. She's starting to come down now. It was a little spookier this morning. You got the audience and dogs and...
Yeah. I've been just watching Alyssa and Honey out the window of our house. I sit right over there. I sit right there so Honey isn't distracted by me, and I can watch, and it's been really fun watching Alyssa do Liberty with her.
All right. You feel better now?
Here's a question. Can you hear me, Alyssa?
Yeah.
Have you thought of training Mustangs for general public? Would be so cool if the two of you became a house name when it comes to Mustang training.
Good job. Yep. Yep. There you go. You can go see that tarp. Good girl. Okay, but that way. Wrong way. Good job. There you go, sweetie. Yeah, Honey, as long as she, well, eventually we'll find Honey a home, regardless of how she's doing. Can you go to the ball? Right there, right there. Yeah, just check that thing out. She got a dog behind her, so we'll see if she's feeling confident enough to check it out. So this seems like a small thing for a horse to do, but for her that is huge, that she's curious enough to play with that thing. And she's even a little more elevated this morning than she has been. But like right now, Yeti's eating horse poop behind her. Gross, Yeti. But yeah, she's been doing good. She's been getting more and more curious and just seems like she's wanting to interact more, which is awesome. She was even pawing the ball the other day. It was funny. She was trying to like hit it. She was pushing it with her nose. And now we got another dog over there. That's just a squirrel.
Linda Potter says she wishes you would do Road to the Horse.
That would be fun. That I don't know how I would do. That'd be a lot. I will say after like watching a lot of Mustang training and working with Mustangs, Road to the Horse, it's nice to have, you know, you can tell that those horses have been bred domestically and bred to be nice to work with and stuff, because they got stuff done with them pretty fast, where a lot of Mustangs, it's not that fast.
Shit.
She can hear squirrel on the grass, but she's like looking past him, like, where is that coming from?
Do you want me to put them inside real quick? I could take them in.
No, that's okay. We won't spend too much time out here.
Sherry says Honey knows she's live, so she's a little more nervous.
She is a little more
Yeah, there's
nervous, but
300
that's
people
okay.
here watching, Honey.
This is good with like Jason out here and stuff too.
Yeah.
She definitely is more timid when there's multiple people. We'll see if she can go over to the tarp. Yep, you were right. You did good. She says, I want to play
Margaret
with the
says,
ball.
love her playing ball. Yes, it's so cool to see her just
Yeah,
start to
check out
come out of her
Squirrel.
shell a little bit. Can you guys hear Alyssa all right? Sometimes when she's faced the other way,
There you
our
go.
little
All right,
wireless
go that
mic
way.
doesn't connect. So let us know if you can hear Alyssa.
Yeah, we should be close enough, but yeah, sometimes it's, keep going. Almost. Good girl. There you go. Good job.
Living
Go
in
to
my
the
own
tarp.
time zone says, I loved watching Road to the Horse because of Alyssa.
Oop.
But I worry that things move too fast for those horses. And yeah, anytime you add a timed aspect, you
You're okay.
potentially
Good job.
sacrifice a little bit of the
Good
foundation.
job. You're all right. You're all right, my friend. Good girl.
That's why it's
Yeah.
nice we're planning for a
You're okay.
year until we find Honey a good home, because there's no time pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those horses, like, it's pretty amazing what horses can handle. But the retention afterwards, like if you let them sit for a week, you know, a lot of those colts, you'd have to go back through and reteach them a lot of that stuff, because there, she's going to go over to the tarp now. Because, you know, it's just a lot. It's just like you study for a test and you cram a bunch in, and then after your big test is done, a lot of times you don't retain that information. It's similar with horses. You can only remember so much in a short amount of time. Yeah, I see you. You're cool.
Real quick, I wanted to say a couple people have mentioned Ryan Rose, and yeah, we were rooting for Ryan. We like watching some of his videos too, and it was like we were rooting for the YouTube guy. I guess Alyssa is also a YouTube person, but yeah, we were rooting for Ryan.
Yeah, that she wants to play with that thing and stuff. This is such a huge step for her. And, you know, Rooster was just naturally really curious, and a lot of Mustangs are. She had no curiosity whatsoever towards anything. And so to see that start coming out in her is awesome. And I think that's going to feed over into being more curious with people. She will paw down. I don't know what it is. She has salt. She has, she's getting supplements in her feed now, but she paws down to the dirt, and then she'll try to like take a bite of the dirt, which is probably good that we wormed her, because this is her new thing she likes doing. So.
Question came in. See who this was from. D. McPherson says, so training is just repetition, question mark?
Yeah, a lot of repetition, and then I'll add in some new things here and there, just to push her kind of to that next step. But I've actually been having fun. This will be the 5th day that we've done any sort of like really focused on some liberty work and trying to do, you know, just communicate at liberty, like yielding her hindquarters or bringing her front end around and sending her off a different direction, having her stop next to obstacles. See, now she's biting the dirt. Why are you eating dirt? And so, yeah, I'll try to make it a little more challenging, like, can you go in between the tarp and the ball at liberty? But it's very small things, because, you know, she's so sensitive, she can't handle a ton of pressure. And we did a lot of pre-work ahead of time just to get her back to where, you know, I could be within her bubble, and you could see, like, now she can walk up to me again and stuff. So there was a lot of pre-work we did, and we showed some of that on the last session. I have another video I'll post where I do get her like first touch again. But yeah, we've been having fun communicating this way, and it's fun to watch her kind of blossom. She's starting to get some curiosity. She's starting to come out personality wise. So I'm just gonna keep doing this and just see, you know, kind of what happens with her. But it seems like it's helping her sort of relax and come out of her shell a little bit. So why not, you know? Why are you eating dirt? Yeah, why are you eating dirt? Come here. Don't eat dirt. She's like, I want to eat dirt. Okay, go that way. Good girl. Oops, wrong way.
Love Light says, hi from the UK. It is 18:11 here, but I've scrolled back to the
Good
beginning
girl.
at 1.5 speed,
No,
so I
don't
might
eat that.
catch up before the end. Thanks for
I
joining.
know he's over there, but you gotta just go that way. You can cut off the circle, that's fine. She's like,
St.
I'm not gonna
Elmo's
go over there.
says, does Honey like some kind of treat from a bowl?
Right there. Good girl. Nice. That's cool. I'll take that. Good job. She'll eat her grain out of the pan, but she doesn't want to eat out of my hand.
That's what that's for.
And so I can kind of bring some food in and drop it in the pan as sort of a reward. But one thing with Honey you got to watch out for is she wants to be a little bit defensive when she gets nervous. And so I haven't done a whole lot of like feeding her, treat training her, because I feel like it definitely gets a little worse when we're doing that kind of work. Doing this liberty work and just asking her to move her feet different places and stuff, it seems like that's helped her more than, like treat training approach. So she's going to go check her bucket.
But yeah, that's what the bowl is in there for, is that's what she gets her grain in.
Yep.
Nice tall bowl so
and,
it doesn't
and we said this
get
earlier, but she gets a ration balancer now. She gets some ration to hopefully put a little weight on her. We fed her a feed through wormer, and then she also gets the same feed through ulcer med. It's just a feed through ulcer, if you'd call it a medication, but anyway, to help Taz out after his initial treatment. So she gets the same stuff he gets just to help, just in case she ended up getting some ulcers from all the stress of, being hauled here and all that stuff. So she's pretty funny. And then she's got lots of big yawns. So it's like she's coming down off this stuff. Like I feel like she's really been able to stay calm and during our sessions doing this kind of stuff, and she's actually able to like keep her feet at a walk, which is huge for her. Before she'd, I could send her off, but she'd have to at least trot, if not lope. So just her being able to keep her feet at a little slower pace and come towards me and stuff like that, and and working on walking away. I can actually take this flag and like wave it around over her back, and she's pretty okay with it. So she's getting used to like this flag doesn't mean that she's gonna go to the ball. She's gonna get hurt like this, because they use these flags to move them at the facility. So I wanted her to learn like this doesn't need to be scary. So yes, good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Ellen Tari says two things. Says, you guys have ruined my Be Productive plan for this afternoon. So thanks for watching it. Sorry about that. But then actually, Alyssa, if you can hear me, they said they would love a vid on explaining what liberty work is. And that's a really good question.
That's just kind of its name, but basically the horse is at liberty, right? Like you don't have any restraints on him. You don't have a halter, you don't have a rope. So like she's choosing to try to be with me. Now she's choosing to go see the ball again. Now she got distracted with the dog. But like you're leaving up to the horse to either communicate with you or not, or work with you or not. Like you're not restraining them to do so. So they're at liberty to be themselves. I don't know. I'm probably not explaining this very good. But basically, like I'm not going to push her to get a halter on her right now, because I don't feel like that would mentally be very good for her. Like there's trainers that rope Mustangs, and not saying anything against that. But I've chosen not to do that with her at this point. So, we're just going to try this and see if she'll communicate with me and work on stuff with me without a rope on. And that'll help us too. Eventually get a halter and a lead rope on. She'll already know some cues, like how to disengage your hindquarters, how to be sent out around in a circle. Yeah, you're funny. And so yeah, this is, a much different approach from Rooster, but she's a much different horse from Rooster. So I haven't really found anyone that's worked with a Mustang quite like her as far as videos online. And so this is all kind of an experiment, but this has been really fun, and I feel like this has helped her the last few days doing this kind of work with her. So, but yeah, if you type in Liberty Work on YouTube, you'll find all sorts of cool stuff. People do all kinds of neat things with their horses. But basically, it's just no rope, no halter, and you're working with that horse, or the horse is working with you to communicate.
Sarah says, just love how y'all take your time. A lot of people don't.
Good
Such
job.
in a rush. It's
Good
the
job.
journey that counts.
Good
And
job.
you're right, Sarah. We have the
You played the tarp? Oh, you're going to come past the tarp. Okay.
we have the good fortune of having time available. Like on some working ranches and stuff, it's like they just have a job to do, so they need to just get it done and keep moving forward. And for
Yeah.
our lifestyle and our setup, we don't have those time constraints, and so it's really
She's going to
we're
go eat
really
dirt.
fortunate.
That's the spot, too. That's apparently, I don't know what's in the dirt right there. There's not grass growing up, so I don't know. I've tried to figure out why she's doing that, but I don't know. That's the spot. She'll even do this when I'm not in here. I look out the window, she's out there trying to eat dirt. You have a Redmond equine salt block right over here, ma'am.
St. Elmo's Fire says, it looks like Alyssa is giving Honey a choice with less stress.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So there's definitely times where I'll put a little more pressure on her, as far as touch, and so you're trying to make the wrong thing a little more difficult, the right thing really easy for him. But I also don't want to push it too far to where, she just thinks people are pressure and she's not enjoying her time with people. This is another thing. This is a huge thing, just to walk at a fairly fast pace around in this round corral and not have her just literally flying around.
Yeah.
She has a really tough time with people's legs and people changing direction. And so just to be able to do this and change direction and not have her take off is step as well. She was just really touchy about that. You probably saw when I brought Clyde in here, and like just me kind of taking a step away from him, sent her flying around the round corral. So we worked on that until she could stop and think about it. So yeah, there's a lot of little things that may seem small, but for her, she's really improved on, which is awesome. I think once it finally clicks with her, it's just gonna click. You can see she's really not too afraid of like that ball and the tarp. She was a little bit more amped when we first came in here just because we do have the dogs and Jason's here, and we appeared out of where we don't normally over there, and two people walking up to her around corrals a lot for her. But there's a lot of things she's really, really come a long ways on. She's just staring at Yeti in there. But yeah, I've been having fun with her. It's fun to see her little personality come out. It was fun the other day when she was trying to kick that ball. It was fun to watch her little brain work and be like, oh, I could do this thing. That's kind of cool. And not be so worried about it. What is that dog doing?
Well, this has been kind of a fun little sample of what a session looks like. If you guys would enjoy an actual full live, like 2-hour session, we could probably try that. So let us know in the comments if that would be something you'd enjoy. I always am like nervous that it would be kind of boring, but if you know,
it's just this, it's pretty boring with some stuff added in there, but yeah, it's
a lot of repetition.
And a lot of standing around letting her sort through things like this. She's over there looking into it now. Yeti! Yeti! Come here, my friend. Crazy dog. Come here. Come here. You can come in, but you have to stay next to me. Yeah, come here. Honey, one nice thing about Honey is she really doesn't mind dogs, and she doesn't seem like wants to be a dog stomper. They don't come in here unless I'm right here, but she really doesn't care about them, which is nice. She's like, no, I'll just play with this ball. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. She's biting it. I love that because she's so sensitive about touching stuff with her mouth, though. So the fact that she wants to kind of rub on that and try to bite it, and that's really big for her. So you're a funny girl.
All right, last question from Sherry. How old are Yeti and Squirrel?
Squirrel is, what are you? You're going to be 4. He'll be 4 in September. And Yeti is about to turn 6 at the end of this month, which is so crazy that she's already 6. That doesn't even seem possible. But yep, she's going to be a 6-year-old.
She's the best. She's awesome.
She's running collarless right now. She looks kind of funny. She's like, I'm gonna eat dirt too. Honey
Okay.
said it was good.
Kevin said, okay, two more questions. One said, did I miss the last day of the auction? And
No, it'll
no,
be
that
out.
one's up and coming. That will be probably our next video, huh, Alyssa?
Yeah, it should come out on Tuesday.
So yeah, if you guys haven't watched our auction video yet, check it out, and then you'll be up to date, and then another one will come out on Tuesday. And then along those lines, Kevin said, hey Jason, I like your Billings, Montana episode. Did you go visit Rand's Hats? And thank you, Kevin. That was actually a really fun video to film, despite my fear of filming in public. And no, I didn't, but I know the exact hat shop you're talking about. They make the nicest hats. And one of these days we'll go there. Maybe we'll get Alyssa like another really nice flat hat, because she looks good in the one we have, but it's not a super nice one. So we also, Kevin, we like to go to Buckaroo businesses when we're
Yes.
there. I don't know if you've been there. You probably have, if you know Rand's. But yeah, Buckaroo businesses in Billings, Montana. If any of you guys are looking for a really cool cowboy shop with like some of the most beautiful bits and spurs, and they have all the pretty like bozals and leather work, riatas, like the rawhide braided ropes. They have all the traditional Buckaroo gear there. So definitely recommend, if you're going to Billings, Buckaroo businesses. All right, guys. You guys have the best Easter ever.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you all. And we will see you on the next one.